Kids, it's Dad. We are taking a look at one of the quests here in Hogwarts Legacy where you are trying to collect the evidence necessary to get Harlow, who's an Ashwinder, thug, villain, whatever. And I haven't done, and is this worth the price for Hogwarts Legacy? I refuse to get intertwined with the controversy that surrounds this game and the author J.K. Rowling, whether that is justified or not. But I've got to say, I do enjoy playing the game, just like I enjoy watching the movies and I enjoy reading the books. And I can separate the art from the person responsible for creating the art. But that said, this quest is about the midway through the game. And depends on how you play it, I guess. So, as you see here, I have dressed myself intentionally like the Doctor, as closely as what I can get. And then also, like I always do in these types of games, I have modeled my character as much after myself. There will be moments throughout this where I am certain OBS will drop the connection for whatever reason, but I'm still trying to sort out what's causing that to happen. But yeah, we're at the point now where we are collecting the evidence necessary to sick the ores on Harlow, or the police in this case, because this takes place well before. And while this is going on, I've talked about the amount of shovelware that sits in the eShop, and just the fact that it takes me forever to even find a game for the is it worth it. It is one of those that is really, it's getting more and more difficult, and especially with the Switch turning at what, 8 this year? Or is it 7? It's 7. That's a long time without any kind of quality control in the eShop. And I've learned a few tricks to shopping the eShop. The first one is games that have a title like Submersible Simulator, Discover the Titanic into blah 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 blah, or 4x4 Off-Road Car Simulator Truck, or there's more here as a Anime Tank Blitz. There are games that appear to have had their titles written by ChatGPT. Avoid those. It's just... It's never a good sign when Car Flipper Simulator 2024 Car Mechanic Wash Car. Let's get the rest of this title here. We'll click into that. And yes, this is actually I am not playing the game right now. I am just talking to you. Yeah, Car Flipper Simulator 2024 Car Mechanic Wash Car Sale. You know that is shovelware. Or Farming Tractor Simulator 2023 Drive Combine, and what else is in that?
I thought they'd given up until I came home one night
drive combine and trucks. I can guarantee you, you're just better off getting the actual farm simulator. That is $1.99 you are not going to get back when these things go on sale. The other thing that right now is plaguing the eShop is Ultimate. You will find these low budget games that have like Ultimate Edition or Deluxe Edition or Super Ultimate Deluxe Complete Edition. And it's the same game over and over and over again. And the devs are just adding adjectives to the end of the title. And throwing them up there as new versions of the game. And now, I have never actually bought one of those, because most of the time I already have the game, and the game sucked. So I'm not going to buy the Super Ultimate Deluxe Turbo Edition. It's... So avoid those as well. Very rarely have those been actual good games to begin with.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Oh, God, I just found an ultimate one. It's on sale here. Let me get the full title here, because this is... Oh my God, I actually have to verify my age. This is like carding somebody my age. Okay. This game is Cop Car Police Simulator Chase Car Game Simulator and Driving. One, it's got simulator in there twice. I am going to assume that Cop Car Police Simulator Chase, that it's going to be a car game, and that I will probably be driving. So, the stuff after the hyphen is not necessary. Needless to say, this game is never appearing on one of my episodes. And then you sit there and... sorry, as I'm staring into the uncanny valley of Hogwarts Legacy, I understand the Switch is absolutely positively the worst way to play this game. It's also the only way to play it portably, unless I were to install it onto my ROG Ally and get maybe an hour worth of gameplay out of the battery. But yeah, oh, God, that is just a frightening visage. So yeah, there's two categories of games to avoid outright in the eShop. The first one is the Gen AI game title. The second one is anything that is like Super Ultra Deluxe Edition. Or my favorite is Game of the Year. I have seen games I have reviewed get released as Game of the Year. There is no way in hell those games were Game of the Year even nominated or even thought about. So, don't trust that title unless you happen to go and see, oh, wow, yeah, no. This game was at least nominated. But the games that are nominated aren't really going to play that game. There's also games out there. I just had a run of them here. where I'm looking at Bakery Master, My Little Ice Cream Booth, Burger Master, Cooking Festival. I mean, literally, with the exception of Blackjack World Tour, those games were all in a row on the eShop. Just go get Overcooked.
Why don't you just tell them?
But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective.
That's
He sees this as a grave
anything that is clearly
and
a ripoff.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would
Is
love
just
nothing more than to
not
see Rosie
worth
in
it.
Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man.
Although I'm taking a look here, and
As for Rosie's
on the
history,
eShop right now, and this is actually genuinely kind of a good game. Bit Trip Beat, Bit Trip Core, Bit Trip Runner, Bit Trip Void, Bit Trip Fate, Bit Trip Flux. I didn't realize there were that many Bit Trips out there. They're all on sale as well for the next 5 days for $1.99. So that one might actually be worth taking a look at if you enjoyed the Bit Trips. Avoid anything where it teaches you how to play drums or piano or it's a clock or a calculator. Anything like that. My God.
There.
There's just so much crap on the eShop. I really wish Nintendo would figure it out. Give us a rating system so that you can sit there and see, even if you disable comments. Give verified the purchasers the ability to give it stars. Make them little Mario stars. Come on. It'd be worth it.
Mattie's wand. She can cast that.
Outside of that,
She's in trouble.
there's
Will show me where she was
just
taken.
so much going on the eShop that is just horrible. What I'd really like to see in the Switch 2, whenever that comes out, gets announced, whatever, is a purging of the eShop and all of the just crud. Aside of course, I would like to see more robust themes. I would like to see stuff that with quality of life enhancements. I mean, I've gone through and I've replaced the sticks in 3 sets of Joy-Cons with Hall sensing or Hall sticks. That is a great improvement. It's no stick drift whatsoever. Maybe a little bit more ergonomics on the console, but I understand the need. Why it was created flat like it was for portability. I've got cases and you've got the grips that you can use. I've actually printed grips on my 3D printer that work extremely well and don't do much for the
Mattie must have been taken.
portability of it.
I need to find her quickly.
So outside of that, okay, we are sneaking into the dungeon here, the Ashwinder headquarters, and this is really, if you up your disillusionment, I've got to talk about Hogwarts Legacy and strategy here, but up your stealth components, because you can sit the stealth and your God, what the hell's the binding curse again? Petrificus Totalis. Get those maxed out, And you can basically silent snake your way through most of these underground dungeons. And that's just par for the course. You can even do it to named villains and get credit for killing them without having to go through these long, drawn-out battles, which is actually one of my complaints about this game. Is it just becomes a lot of rolling and hitting, and some of those people require huge amounts. See, right there, I just Petrificus Totalis 2 people, which then really helps. Oh, time to jump into a little bit of battle here. But yeah, you oh god, that was clumsy. You just end up casting just spell after spell and having to wait for cooldown. And some of these battles will take an incredibly long time, especially if you're dealing with like a troll. Trolls are kind of, in the early stages, trolls are the giants of Skyrim. I mean, I think this guy's going to take a frickin' forever to kill. And it's not because I'm no good at the game, it's just because you do so very little damage. Up your potions as well. Make it so that you can create all kinds of potions. Don't go into battle half-assed. Go in with your max potion allotment and make sure that you are well equipped. And yeah, use the Thunder Potion. It's worth it. There's a huge amount of stuff to do in this game. And really, it's one of those where, hey, you want to do the side missions, do the side missions. You do actually have to complete a fair number of them just to progress, because there's mainline missions, side missions, and they do blend together. The devs did a really nice job on the game and creating a depth to it that is worthwhile. But now that that battle's over, let's go on ahead. Oh god, Cake Laboratory. No. I have no idea what that's like, but Cake Laboratory just looks bad. So yeah, part of the reason why I have such a hard time with is it worth it is because I'm actually am looking for gems. And they are just buried. And yeah, I go into the eShop and I filter on price. What I like about the online store version in the browser is you get an extra feature, 0 to $4.99 for pricing, and that helps cut down on some of it as well. But why that isn't an option on the Switch, I don't know. You have 0 or 1 penny to $10 is the lowest option that you have. Well, that's not much of a sale, is it? Game's normally $2.23 and it's on sale for $2. You can save those 23 cents. Oh my god. There are other games where the thumbnail just reveals how bad the game is. So honestly speaking, $4.90 is the regular price, on sale for $2. Escaping a Kid's Room: The Adventures of Naatsu and Kumakichi Escape Games series. There's no pictures of gameplay, no video. It's just the thumbnail. Do you know what that's telling me? You don't want to buy the game. Plain and simple. Come on, Nintendo. Get some quality control. Get some ratings. Make it so that you have to have actually bought the game and played it before you can give it a star rating. You've got all that information. Just do it. That's the thing that you have to... Oh. It's just so utterly frustrating that... I mean, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes and I haven't found a game I would actually be willing to even risk playing for the show. I mean, this is utterly made him fly. This is just utterly embarrassing. I get you want to be the platform for indie developers, but there should be some level of entry to that. I mean, the NES was notorious for not wanting shovelware. They limited the number of games a developer could release so that they couldn't just flood the market with the crap that helped bring about the game collapse of '83. And, I mean, I was around for that. I remember that. It was bad. Okay, I'm back. Now, where the hell was I? Sorry, had a little household excitement. The cats had cornered unwanted house guest in the form of a mouse and had to catch it and then drive it down to the old dog park for a nice friendly Minnesnowta release. I always worry about which one is actually more cruel. The kill trap, which most of the time it's over quickly. The live trap, which, you know, unless you're checking them daily, it's going to be a kill trap. Letting the cat just do what cats do. Or interfering and then taking them down to the dog park where they don't know any of the mice that are in that neighborhood. So Minnesota nice, they're going to be mean to them because we don't trust strangers up here, or dealing with the fact that it's cold out there because, I mean, God forbid, it's almost April in Minnesota, and even though we haven't had any snow this year, we've just had 6 to 8 inches over the last 48 hours. But I suppose they'll be okay. I did give them the talk on the drive down to the park about making the mistake of going into the house with 2 cats, and I did actually have to get one of the cats to release the mouse. He had him by the scruff of the neck, and got him to let the mouse go, and the mouse immediately jumped in the box and was like, I'll take option B. I'll take door number C. Thank you, Chuck Woolery. And made no complaints whatsoever. But yeah, I told him not to go into the warehouses nearby because they're not as nice as us, and not to try to get back to the residential area where he might know other mice and have friends. and just to go and find a mate and have lots of mouse babies down at the dog park and avoid the bald eagles that are down there and everything. But when I let it out of the box, it did look back at me and gave me a look like, really? You're dropping me off in this neighborhood? Do you want me to die? And truth be told, I do feel kind of guilty sometimes about doing that stuff. But on the other hand, I would probably feel guilty about the kill trap as well. And definitely leaving them to the cats and the kitten would... I mean, they go all Game of Thrones on any intruders that we have. And that's just... It's par for the course up here in Minnesota. You end up with these cute little field mice every spring or when the weather changes. And it gets cold after it's been warm. It's just part of the game. Those things get everywhere. It's not the house isn't trashed and anything. I mean, we've actually had the kids' friends over and they tell us that it looks like a hotel or a museum with just how clean, sparsely decorated is what it is. But, yeah, you get mice in Minnesota. It doesn't matter if you're in a 63,000 square foot home on Minnetonka or in a tiny little postage stamp in East Bloomington. You're gonna get mice up here. And you just have to take care of them and make sure that you're not giving them incentives. So, that said, we're back to trying to clear out the Ashwinders, which is, I think I've actually cleared them all out at this point. I don't think there's any more battles. I just have to sneak around and collect the rest of the evidence as well as collect all the chests. And that's another problem I have with this game, is all of the gear, none of it is ever any better than what I already have on. It's a rare occasion when I find something that's better than what I'm wearing already. And you just... the only thing it's good for is a couple of hundred galleons when you sell it off. Even if it's worth 100 galleons, that's a miracle. You might get... Most of the time it's 60. So, just a second here. Yep, climb up to that. And there's that pink letter that I'm supposed to find. So, all kinds of stuff worth unlocking and doing. And I do find that I use disillusionment far more often since I've gotten it upgraded, and I'm far more difficult to see, and I've got Protificus Totalis maxed out and can take out several enemies at once. It's just a much easier way to play this game. But the other thing that really kind of bothers me a lot of the time is how the shortcuts and the easiness that they've made this game by having your book tell you exactly where you're supposed to go, and most of the time give you a little path. Or in this case, it's not actually letting me do any of that. I just have to get to the exit here, and now we're going to go report to the police officer. So, yeah, I guess there are my thoughts on the problems facing the eShop, which is just, and how to navigate around it. And games that you should definitely avoid. The naming style of the games to avoid. And then also how you really things I wish Nintendo would do, which is give us a rating system so that you can see that I have no idea here, but Blacksmith Hit isn't worth the $249 based on people who have actually bought the game and have given it stars. And then likewise, I've also played through one of the longer missions in Hogwarts Legacy that I've come upon. It's not as much fun as battling the dragons or anything, but you know, that's for a different day and age. Or maybe I already did that one. I don't remember. That's the problem with getting a little old and senile, is you just don't always remember what you've done or what you've posted, which then makes those eShop games even worse, because it will sit there and tell me I haven't bought game ZYX Super Deluxe Edition. And unless I remember that I've actually already played ZYX and it sucked, I might accidentally make an episode of that. And with over 230 plus, is it worth it? I've played a lot of crap games. And I just wish quality control was a thing on the Nintendo eShop. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Got some videos here, as well as a subscribe button. Make sure to click that. Ring the bell. Leave comments. In general, be kind in those.